So this is what Gary Neville had to say about Cesco. For Cesco now, I think he starts on Sunday against Palace. His confidence is high, and I think now Carrick starts him. Just feeling how Michael would look at that, I think it would kill the lad if he didn't start him against Palace. I haven't always been convinced about him this season, but what you have to do, I think, is move with what you see. He looks like he's growing in his game and in his body, and looks like he's got more power in his sort of performance. I think he also said something about he's not the complete striker. I don't think he's ever going to be the perfect striker, similar to Gyökeres. I mean, look, at the moment with Cesco, he's just got to start. I think it ends there. I like Gyökeres at Arsenal. I would have liked Gyökeres at Man United. I like Cesco at Man United. I think he'd have done all right at Arsenal. Are they complete strikers? No, Gyökeres is not a complete striker. There's issues in his game, and similarly, I think Cesco's not the complete striker. But who is a complete striker? Erling Haaland's not a complete striker. He's one of the world's best strikers. He's not complete. Erling Haaland's link-up play isn't dynamite. Harry Kane's probably a complete striker, but I still think he could do with another yard of pace. So you're gonna find a flaw in everybody's game, aren't you? I think the complete striker that maybe we had a few years ago, they don't probably exist anymore. I mean, people like Alan Shearer probably were a bit of a complete striker, but I think in the modern game, Erling Haaland, you play to his strengths, don't you? You know, Erling Haaland can be shut down. You can't shut Messi down because if you give the ball to feet, he'll run past you. But you can shut Haaland's a world-class striker, but you can shut him down if you kill the supply lines. Whereas Ronaldo, Messi, they get the ball and they can create something from happening. So I don't think I'm concerned about he's not a complete striker. And I did that video about Cesco last week. Didn't I? And we basically did this. Like, his shot conversion rate wasn't actually good. It's probably a little bit better now because I think he had one chance, one goal, but it wasn't that good. There was a couple of things about his game that he needs to work on. Link-up play, finishing. But he's a chance magnet. I said this about Darwin Núñez and Cesco scoring more goals than he did. And there's a lot to work with Cesco. Look, get him in the team. Bottom line is, everybody agrees he's got to start games. Carrick needs to start him. He should have done it last night. It's as simple as that. So, Gary Neville, talking about the next Manchester United manager. Manchester United have to pursue another manager right now around the fact that you don't know the results are going to go. Little things like Tuchel re-signing with England does start to take away the options for Man United, and they don't harm Carrick's chances of getting the job. If he gets United into the Champions League, there'll be a lot of fever around that he should be appointed. I'm not against him being appointed. I love him to bits, but I think Man United should be going for the best in-class manager available. They've had young and experienced managers in the last two picks. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in before as an ex-player, and that didn't work in the end. So I feel removing as much risk as possible is the right option. Very rare, it can happen, but very rare that I would agree with Neville. But I do. I actually do agree with that. I don't. Well, my opinion's been out for a few weeks, so I'm not agreeing per se, but I don't disagree with what he's saying there. My stance on the manager is that he's probably been a bit lucky in the last 3 games, if I'm being honest, but luck's never a bad thing. My stance on the manager is, I think we're going to get Champions League anyway. I thought we were going to get Champions League with Amrim. My stance on the manager is, we've made these mistakes in the past. He's at the wheel and all that. Manchester United should be recruiting the best in class. That's what we're meant to be doing. An interim coach with Steve Holland, Jonathan Woodgate and Johnny Evans is not best in class. It's a punt. It's a risk. And it might be an exciting risk, but it is a risk. We should be on the phone to every top manager in the world. And we're Man United, so we should be getting interest. And in the summer, we should be ready to go for one of them. If we end up with Michael Carrick, I think we failed. I think we've failed to interview the people that we should be interviewing. That doesn't mean Michael Carrick shouldn't get the job. He should be in the equation. But if we go for Michael Carrick without talking to anybody else, and who we talk to is shit, Wilcox has failed. Because this is Manchester United, and they're going to be in the Champions League, and they've got a budget to spend. And people say, well, no manager's going to want to work under the Glazers. Well, they have, and they will. If I'm playing Championship Manager or Football Manager or whatever it's called now, and somebody says, do you want the Man United job? They're in the Champions League and you've got a big transfer spend. It's a big job. It's a big job. You might not want to come in and be told what to do by Wilcox to take that on board, but you're not taking Man United over last summer when we're not in Europe. You're taking over a Champions League team with a budget. And it's a massive name. We should be able to get better options than De Zerbi and Glasner wanting this job. And then it gets interesting. And we should be going for best in class because Carrick's a risk. Whether I want him or not, he's a risk. My stance is we shouldn't be talking about Carrick until May because we should be taking all the evidence into account. Arsenal Man City games, brilliant. Brilliant. West Ham Everton, bit lucky. Lethargic. Ollie ball, Ten Hag ball. Yeah, I think that's sort of where I am. But we've won 5 of our last 6 games. And we're in a great position in the Champions League. And all I care about is being in the Champions League. The manager conversation, to me, just needs to be done properly. And I'm not getting involved in the TikTok generation of I need a decision now. I don't need to give a decision now. I think we just keep moving along.